Right. Okay. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Let me make you. Make you. Make co-host. 1 2 1 2. How do I sound? 1 2 1 2. Bringing the vibration all around. Straight from the Most High, projecting from the third eye, lifting up the vibration, knowing that our soul will never die. Woo! Mm-hmm. Yes. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, P to the L. Appreciate you. Given the logistics of the audio. All right. Checking everything is going the way it's supposed to, as life does. All right. Mama Addie's got her meds, her medications. So now I can focus in this moment. How's everybody doing? Give me some 1 word, 2 word feelings, thoughts about the experience of life going on right now. Get the timer up because we're going to dive into some prana brunching. There's going to be no prana snacking today. We're going to do some prana brunching today. Let me go ahead and apologize. I got a pin myself. All right. Big up, family. Big up, big up. How you feeling? How you doing? How you rolling? So give me some 1 or 2 word feelings of the day. Come on, we're intimate enough where you can put it down. Lay it out. What are the thoughts that are flowing? Okay. All right. Tell me, tell me. Ah, yes. The illusionary interpretation of the phenomenon called time. I hear you, P to the L. Master P. Slow boot up. Juliet, do you remember what it's like to have a 9-year-old? Slow boot up quickly gets adjusted to the full-on engagement. But today's sutra is going to be the antidote for it all. Let's let Jill in. She got the email. So here we are. Welcome to our Wednesday Sacred Circle, where we gather around that fire of love and elevate the vibration of our being while radiating the vision of a new earth, right? As we navigate these transformative times with the ancient teachings and practices that have been passed on as valuable for those dwelling in peace as we navigate the wilderness, that wilderness being mass consciousness. Yeah, finding that path of peace that is available, right? Finding that path of peace that is available. Yes, let's welcome Demetrius in. I'll wait for you to admit him in. But as we're waiting for Demetrius to enter, and maybe I will, since I can see him. Let's bring our hands together. Let's give them a little rub today. Let's get some activation going on, because it's as I said, we're going to be doing a little more than snacking on the life force through our breath practice today. I want you to get this sense of really being the activation, you being the activation of pure energy, pure life, right? Jill, as you have arrived, we were just checking in with our family circle here. And what would you say are the 1 or 2 word feelings, interpretations of your experience of life today? What is coming up for you? Yeah. If you have something to put in, drop it on in there. Welcome, Halo. The angelic beings are showing up. Yes, I hear that. Scary and awe-inspiring. Keep the hands going. Halo, we're just tuning in this way, rubbing the hands together. Demetrius, you're familiar with this. Activating the energy centers in the palms as we have reflex points, but they're also terminations of, or more like polarity points for your nadis, your energetic system. According to the Ayurvedic terminology, they would call these energy channels nadis. In traditional Chinese medicine, you may call them meridians. But as you're rubbing your palms together, feel the warmth. If you have glasses on, you're going to need to take them off. This is great to do if you've been on the computer for a while and you want to take a break. Many neuroscientists will say you should work for about 25 to 30 minutes and take a 2 to 5 minute break. That will help you to stay focused. And this is a good thing to do in between as you are working on a project or has you in front of a screen, or at the end of the day, the business day that has you on the screen. Now let's go a little faster and breathe a little deeper. A little faster. Okay. You newcomers, if you have glasses on, take them off. Quickly place the center of the palm over the eyes. Feel the warmth. Breathe it in. Feel the hands are like the sun. The palm of your hand is radiating the energy of the sun. So it becomes illuminated. And as you breathe in, you drink in that light through your eyes, seeping in through the cornea, the retina, the iris, into the meat of the eyeball, into the optic nerves, feeling those muscles, tendons, and ligaments. So important. Maybe move your eyes in a circular motion like you're tracing a clock, going counterclockwise and clockwise. Feeling all of that energy flow into the muscles, tendons, ligaments, vessels, capillaries. Imagine how mystical that is, that the capillaries go invisible in your lens. It's so incredible. That the blood and the vessels go invisible, those capillaries. Make figure eights with your eyeballs and just feel how the electromagnetic impulse radiates from the brain to respond to the command of rotating your eyeballs in a certain way. And as you sense that, sense the seeping in of that energy of your radiant hands, glowing like the sun, going into the optic nerve, into the center of the brain, begin to illuminate the center of the brain, and all the cells begin to glow with the energy of life flowing through your hands, bringing healing energy to the center of the brain, radiating out to all cells, illuminating your cranium with this light, as that light and energy flows down the medulla, down the brainstem, into the spinal cord, and radiating out into the bones, into the tissue, to every cell of the body as it comes down to the tailbone, radiating down into the hips, into your legs, all the way into your toes. Feel your luminescence. Feel yourself just like a star. As you keep your eyes closed, slide the hands down in prayer position in front of your chest. Press the thumbs into the sternum. And just begin to sit into this stillness. And allow your awareness to flow into the movement of the breath as we prepare to tune in with AUM, this energy that brought creation into its ever manifesting, evolving presence. That sound current of the A, the U, the U, and the M. So if it's comfortable for you, lift the muscles of the pelvic floor right before you generate the sound of ah, drawing the navel point up, and then bringing the lips together, nourishing energy. It brings that from your root, this foundation of manifestation, into name and form, this foundation within you. Beautiful. So feel this inhale together. Exhale. We will be chanting on one breath. Inhale to begin with the muscles of the pelvic floor. Ah, oh. 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 Last one, lower volume. Oh. Inhale deeply and just retain that breath gently, lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor as long as it's comfortable for you. And exhale. Welcome again, as we had a few of our family members drop in around the fire of love. Welcome to our Sacred Wednesday circle. So powerful to be with you live. Thank you for being patient with the process of journeying around this earth, where I had to do a pre-recorded for last week. So our topic for today is around the subject of being able to see clearly, being able to know, the true seer. And by doing that, with our topic, to dissolve limiting thoughts by learning to clear our mind so we can truly see. That's the essence of our pranayama, and pretty much just thinking about our subject matter that we've been nourished by. It is that is the golden key, if you will. That conscious breathing, it will clear the mind. The flow of thoughts is directly correlated to the flow of the breath. So to dissolve the limiting thoughts, limited meaning, there are patterns of thinking that distracts us or interferes with our equanimity, with our balance, our realization of the presence of balance, the presence of this regenerative intelligence within us, constantly healing, constantly refurbishing, constantly restoring. That is our very nature. So when we say disturbance, then there's a sense of dis-ease that shows up. And then there's a hypersensitivity to focus upon that because of the way we're educated about who we are and how to take care of ourselves. We're trained to give that responsibility over to an outer structure. Our educational system directs our attention to an outer structure rather than driving our attention inward to also consider the inner intelligence. And that is, the purpose for us gathering here together. So we remember these ancient teachings that are living in us. If you consider the ancient ones had to sit still and garner and gather these teachings in order to translate the power of the activity of sitting still and focusing on the breath, sitting still and allowing oneself to engage in a sound current that has proven to be an elevating activity that reveals the superhuman powers within if a person is committed to engaging and spending time with the sounds. There was a prominent psychotherapist, Wayne Dyer, who recounts stories of his master giving him a meditation that helped him to manifest his prolific career as an author and a writer. You can put him in YouTube and you can see the number of audio books that he produced. But he leans into the reason for his efficient productivity was because of his devotion to the mantra, just chanting and being with the sound current of A. Ah. which would be considered a seed sound, and a very powerful one because it is the primal sound of the AUM. It's the first letter. So each one of those has a powerful presence, as you are that powerful presence. So we've been journeying through these teachings from a rishi or an avatar, or some interpreters of the teachings of Patanjali say it's more of a devotion to these teachings than it is one person. And then some will say he was a very special avatar-like being that thought it was important to record these teachings so they would not be lost. What's special about these beads of truth strung along a thread of truth, sutras, that each one lives in the other. So as we began the first one, it speaks about now yoga, this practice of a union between the human and the higher self. So we are more than just what we witness through the senses, through our eyes, ears. Funny that they're all located here, right? We taste and touch and smell, that we're more than those senses. Let's give an example of that. Close your eyes and see if you can hear the opening vibrational invocation. See if you can sense the sound of AUM. Can you bring up the sound of water behind it? A stream, maybe the waves of an ocean. That's an example of moving beyond the physical ears, moving beyond the visual. If I say waves or stream, maybe you caught a picture of that. You're moving beyond the circumstances of the physical world. That's the idea of moving beyond limiting thoughts. In that moment, you dissolved any limiting thoughts. Now, I'm also indicating here that those limiting thoughts may be known and they may be unknown once they become such a habit and get buried. So the first sutra, Yoga Now, it informs us that the moment is where we practice yoga. It's not just on the mat. It's not just at the time when a class is said or a Zoom scheduled. It's now. So here's where, and I continue to offer you this as a love mission, here's where you constantly focus, consciously focus on breathing. From the time you become aware of your awakening to the time you become aware of letting go. Have that as a goal, to focus on the breath. It will move you from the physiological centers of the brain, just wired to survival, to the creative centers of the brain, where you're wired for creativity and moving into a vision of manifesting, right? The second sutra shows us why we are practicing yoga, why we are conscious of a union between the human and higher self. And we do that to calm the mind. These influences that come, these experiences that go on inside. We feel happy, we feel sad, we feel angry, we feel tolerant and patient and compassionate. We feel illness and we feel healthy. We feel joy, we feel sadness. Like all these ways in which we can experience life and how it can show up. The sutras, the truth is saying to us, practice your yoga so you can calm those fluctuations. And then the third one, where we are today, when we calm those fluctuations, then we can become the true observer. As the third one says, and I really want to focus on the energy of it rather than all of the other aspects of the sutras, because you can get into chanting them. They become a mantra. There is the way to say it in Sanskrit. We want to anchor in today just the simplicity of the idea of having a practice that it's not just yoga on the mat doing asanas, the yoga of living. Because out of all of the different sutras, only several deal with the physical body. Everything else is dealing with the mind, because that is the aspect of our being that has the opportunity to connect with the infinite. We are made of the infinite, yes. The body has its limitations in terms of its design. The design of the mind, as it has come to be known, is part of consciousness, and therefore has its makeup within the infinite expression. And yet it has these limiting qualities which allow you to have an identity. That clear? Everybody doing all right so far? We've got a few more minutes before we drop into our pranayama today. I really want to get in a good brunch of life force. Yeah. Okay. So this third sutra, it translates, then the seer abides in his own nature. So what is that seer? For any one of you that do spiritual empowerment work or spiritual coaching work with me, you know that's a big deal when we first start out, is to recognize that there is an observer within. The same energy that was able to see the water when the image was invoked of an ocean or waves, and hearing the sound. Right, there's the observer. To hear the stream, there's the observer. To hear the continual Aum, there's the observer. So another love mission. Do, 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 do. Just begin to sense yourself as energy and just observe how your mind is operating in the day. And as you are focused on your breath, then you can call the mind into focus of the breath. Being that true observer. So we've established that it's that breath that can calm the mind. As it goes into the further interpretation, Swami Satchitananda, and for those that may be new to this, to the reading, we're engaged in this text here. How's it looking for you? Sure it's not too shiny. There you go. We're engaged in this text, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali by Swami Satchitananda. He says, you are that true seer. You are not the body nor the mind. You are the knower or the seer. And that knower is what in spiritual empowerment training we would call the soul. As I engage in spiritually counseling, I recognize that knower as the soul. You always see your mind and your body acting in front of you. So look at it, move it around. See the hands moving? Right? Who's commanding the hands to do this thing? You know, open and close them. Close your eyes and open them. Who's commanding this body? Right? You know that the mind creates thoughts. It distinguishes and it has desires. The seer knows, but is not involved in it. The seer knows that there's a greater aspect of you. This is the beauty where we get a chance to move beyond the limits, because that's the infinite self. The seer knows, but it's already been set in motion for you, for your greatest success. As it is said in somewhere in the book of John, and this used to be a favorite quote of my teacher, Max Barsov, all things happen for the good for those that love the Lord. Now, Lord metaphysically translates not to just a ruler of a land, your landlord. It is this consciousness that creates space for the Creator's plan to unfold. This is a supreme vibratory place. And that's the place we're looking to access as we're about to go into our breathing practice. Having a sense of consciousness about how you are operating, right? How you're operating in the flow of your life. To know that there's this infinite space to touch, right? So that we set in motion the energy of the observer, being connected to the knower, being connected to your infinite self, right? Okay, how you doing? How you doing? Right? How you doing? Tell me how you feel. How you flowing? Listen to this last little part. But to understand that eternal, peaceful you, the mind must be quiet. Otherwise, it seems to distort the truth. He speaks of this devotional yearning to really see ourselves when we have these feelings. As I interpret that, he says, you are the seer who wants to see itself. So I have this feeling when we go into these frequencies of depression, loneliness, the challenges of life, that we're really experiencing the yearning to see ourselves. And the mirror is just a little distorted. If that's the mirror of social media, if it's the mirror of a relationship, if it's the mirror of mainstream news channels, they're just those distorted mirrors, like in the fair or the carnival. You know, you go into the hall of mirrors, and they're all distorted. You know, that we never truly see ourselves. We see an image. If you see yourself here on your Zoom screen, or you look in the mirror, that's an image. It is not the actual self. You look at your hands and you see the actual hand, but you can never see your actual face. And that is part of, I have a sense of the designer of creation. You know, that is the little riddle of trust, that we look in the mirror and we see this image, but we don't attach to it because there's something deeper to see and something deeper to experience. That's where I'm encouraging you to go with your breath today. That you go deeper into it. We're going to do a bit of a warm up with our breath, as we do to open up these central channels that are so important. And then we're going to move into a Shakti breath today. We really want to move the energy. So if there's any sensitivity at all around the shoulders, into the lymphatic area, where there's going to be, you move gentle, right? You move in a way, even if it's a little movement. If your shoulders allow, you get into the movement. We'll get there and I'll explain it. But this is a movement that has a powerful potential to raise the vibratory frequency of your auric field, so the mind can become still in your own unique vibration, rather than being bombarded by the vibrations of other consciousnesses emanating out of mass consciousness, right? That you come into your own place And we'll drop into that stillness and we'll listen for the vision, right? The vision of who we are, okay? So let's drop into this. Simply take your hands and place them on the knee. How you doing? All right, first. All right? Okay. Place your hands on your knees. We're going to be warming up the connection of the spine with the pelvis, right? So feeling your sit bones on the chair, you're rocking the pelvis forward and back. Your attention is on the energy of the pelvis moving. This way we activate the energy of the pelvis, so we raise the vibration of the energy in those tissues, tendons, ligaments, and muscles and bones. All right, so you're inhaling forward if that's the crest of the pelvic bone, right? That bone that you feel that creates that arc around your waist. Moving that forward and back, inhaling it forward, exhaling it back. Hands on your knees so you get a little bit of leverage as you come forward, sinking back on the tailbone, inhaling, exhaling. Let's get the movement first before we deepen into the breath. Now what you're doing here is you're helping to activate not only the tendons, ligaments, and muscles that weave this very powerful bowl of the pelvis that's able to house an infinite energy that rests at your tailbone, as well as gather energy. Such a powerful design that every movement you make hinges upon. But also, you're opening up the central nerve channel, its connection to the spine, to the sacrum. And this connection is very special when it comes to the sacral pump that rests at the front of the sacrum and helps to move spinal fluid, allow it to circulate up to the cranium. So you're refreshing the fluid that flows from the spinal chambers or spaces of the spinal column into the spaces of the cranial sanctuary. Now really deepen into the breath. Again, respecting the bowl of your pelvis. If you have your menstrual cycle or any sign of pregnancy, really just be gentle. If the movement and your body allows, deepen into it. Inhale nice and tall. Feel the crown go into the center of creation. Lift the muscles of the pelvic floor. Exhale. Now, I want you to take your ring finger and the middle finger, tuck it into the pad of the thumb, lifting your ring finger and pinky. Right? That's the index finger and middle finger, right? And we're using your thumb and the ring finger. Okay? So we're going to begin long, deep breath. We're going to inhale through the left. Exhale right. If there's any congestion that prevents this, or any issue with the septum, just imagine you can do it. Put your hand down and just imagine in the left and out the right. In the left and out the right. The left nostril is the moon energy, the incorporating energy, the integrating energy, the expansive energy that flows, organizing, integrating energy into a harmonized state. Long, deep, and with intention to really drink in this energy that has a calming aspect to the nervous system. Let this be your last inhale. Hold at the top. Drop the right hand down. And exhale through both nostrils. You can keep the left hand in the Gyan Mudra, mudra of self-knowledge, to know the seer within. Okay, returning to our position with the right hand, using the thumb and the ring finger. We're now going to close the left and inhale right, then close the right and exhale left. Okay, if you press closer to where the nose bone ends and the cartilage begins, there's less movement of the nostril, and you can allow it to flow to be a little easier on the nostrils if you do it for a longer period of time. Closing the left, inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Close left, inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Continue in your own flow. Closing left, inhaling right. Only inhaling through the right nostril and only exhaling out the left. The energy of the right nostril is the energy of the sun. So this is invigorating, activating your radiance, and bringing energy to what you need to accomplish. Breathe deep in your breath for the last few seconds. Nice deep inhale. And deep exhale. Next inhale, fully. Hold at the top. Through the right nostril. Drop the right hand down. You can bring that right hand into Gyan Mudra. Hold the breath. Sip some air. And exhale. Just feel that stillness for a moment. Beautiful. So now that we're feeling the balance as you should, and when you practice on your own, you can practice those as long as your body and being will allow. Again, the more we get a chance to spend with these beings, consider it as a living being, the more the secrets it can reveal. So here's where we prepare ourselves. Let's roll our shoulders a little bit. We're going to drop into our Shakti prana, our power prana, this life force energy, Shakti, this energy prana. Yeah. So this is a practice that can really set your tone to be in vibrational alignment with that seer, with that knower that we call the soul, right? So the movements, I'm going to be reaching forward so you can see my hands, but imagine reaching into the source of your consciousness. So you're reaching into your reservoir of energy, life force, manifesting power, and you're pulling it in with strength. and vibrating the ribs with the upper arms. That's what you see. Whew, coming in like that. Yeah. Now, again, if there's anything going on in the area of the upper torso, you're moving slow. It's more like a qigong movement for you. And you're holding the intention. You're moving where it's comfortable for you. Anyone that's had any shoulder injuries, any type of operations in the upper body, you're moving more in a qigong, tai chi kind of pace. But coordinating that pace with your breath. Equal inhale, pulling in the energy, exhale. Right? Inhale, reaching in a comfortable way, exhale. Now you see me reaching forward so that you can see my hands. The movement is going to be reaching up into the cosmos, pulling the energy in, okay? So if you're all clear with this movement and your body is a full-on yes, you're really moving with energy and power, yes? Even if you're moving slow, or even you may be just holding your hands like this and imagining you're doing the movement and imagining you're reaching in and pulling it in. This may be the extent of your movement. For those that are full on, yes, and each has equal power for where you are in your rejuvenation, recovery, and restoration of returning to that now yoga, returning to being conscious of the seer. We're inhaling up, har. Should we add a mantra to it? Let's just keep it with the breath. We'll do a mantra series later. Keep it with the breath. So you're inhaling, exhaling. Now your exhale can be out the mouth or the nose. It's up to you. But you're inhaling through the nose. Get a steady rhythm. Equal exhale, equal inhale. This way you don't hyperventilate and get dizzy. If the movement is too big, make it a little smaller. You can reach. It's up to you. But imagine, close your eyes. You're reaching into the center of creation, grabbing what's yours and bringing it in, fortifying your cells with it, emptying yourself of what you don't need because you're vibrating the ribs. If you're moving in a Tai Chi fashion, you feel the flow of the energy. And you're letting go with the breath. You move as slow as you can. Feel the release. If your body is with the movement, get kinetic, get active, utilize that medicine. You can always create. Now we're here for about 2 minutes, so pace yourself. And we'll be moving into our meditation. Calling on your soul, connecting with the seer of the vision of your life. But let's clear it out. Let's energize the space. Begin to feel the body begin to glow with the energy you're collecting from your source of consciousness. As you pull it into the body, feel the body begin to vibrate with it. Choose a color. Choose a way that the body begins to illuminate. As you pull in the energy, the breath and the pranayama, they're full of this energy that you're pulling in. There's a quality to it that you can create. What color is it as you're breathing in? As you pull that in and you feel your upper arms come close to the body, whether you're moving slow or with this energetic flow, you're feeling the body begin to glow with that color you're choosing from the essence that you're drawing in from the source of your consciousness, the source of your life force. Okay, a minute to go. Feel yourself begin to light up now. Now, if you're moving fast, see if you have a little more in you to move just a little bit faster, but consciously now. Never compromise the flow of the movement, the ease, and the breath. Just feel the breath grow deeper. If you're moving slow, feel yourself move slower. And connect to that breath. Pull in that energy. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reach into the heavens. Lift the muscles of the pelvic floor. Deep inhale as you reach. Hold the breath at the top. Make a fist. Arms are strong. Body is strong. Strong as Mount Kilimanjaro. Strong as the Himalayan mountains. Strong as the Appalachian mountains. Strong. And exhale. Let the hands float down. Face them, palm up in your lap. Go ahead and touch the sun finger, the ring finger and thumb. Come into that place of stillness, feeling yourself at the beginning of creation, knowing that you have come to manifest and bring form to this energy of life that you are cycling through you, called prana and consciousness. It has come to you to manifest into what only you can manifest. So settle into that as the seer. Settle into the knowing that you are one with the infinite knower. You are one with the source. And just begin to gently ask, how am I to use this life force, this energy that comes to me, to serve my soul, to serve what you have come here to create? So catch a vision of what you've truly come here to experience. As you exhale, if there are any counterproductive thoughts that attempt to emerge, just breathe into them and say, I love you. And I know that you have come from my love. You just observe it. It may have had the habit of being a distraction in the past, but now you're sitting in the lap of your soul, embraced by your soul. Feel the soul whisper in your ear, I love you. 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 I'm here to take care of you, to provide for you, to guide you. I'm here to take care of you. I'm here to take care of you. I'm here to take care of you, to guide you, to guide you. I'm here to love you. I'm here to provide for you. I'm here to help you heal. Hear those, and maybe you might have some of your own ways in which you hear your soul. When you finish your practice, this would be the time to meditate. If a vision Comes, then you write it down. If it doesn't, then you keep hearing the voice of your soul. Speak to you in ways that calms your mind. Feel the breath is deep, but soft and gentle. So when you're on your own, you venture into your visionary session in this way, as we open up the awareness of a vision of your body being taken care of, every cell nourished by your choices, nourished by your choices that are guided by your soul, that are specifically designed for your healing and regeneration, specifically designed for your success in the world, and being at peace while you accomplish fulfilling your destiny. Feel the joy of fulfilling your destiny. May this energy flow out to your families, to our families. Feeling their awakening. May it go out to our communities. Feeling a deep sense of oneness, that oneness of love that we all experience, that we all yearn for, that we all have the opportunity to share this energy of love that comes to us in our breath. See our communities awakening, our states awakening to the state of love. Feel it flow out to the nations where there's no longer a need to spend money on weapons. See the vision of what monies will be spent for. Creating beauty, creating opportunities for health and well-being without trying to control another. There will be education, ways of taking care of the earth. Feel what it would be like to live in this consciousness. I believe we continue to carry this energy, that it will multiply, that there are angels and ancestors that we can forgive and say, hey, carry this vision out. Carry this vision into the hearts of those who are designed to receive it. We in no way need to overpower anyone, because it's already designed for the sun to rise. So we don't have to take or command any power of anyone or anything. We just join in with the flow of the universe. There we are, family. Everybody all right? Yes. Carry this into your day. Carry this practice into your personal practice. Activating a vision. It's been a powerful ally in watching my mother heal and not looking at her as a person healing that looks so different than the woman I grew up with. Right? Powerful to just be with the vision of the seer within. Okay, so we went through our third sutra today. Then the seer abides in his or her own nature. You are that true seer. You are not the body nor the mind. You are the knower or the seer. Okay. So remembering that it is a calm mind that allows us to embody this observer that is connected to, for us in our language, connected to our soul. It has all the information and resources and power we need to raise the sun of our life according to the design of the Creator. It is that breath, consciously breathing, is the golden key that will calm the mind so that the seer can guide us with the true vision of our life. Yeah. Beyond the history and the story. That is the limiting thing we are releasing. Yeah. We release. Right? And we're speaking about that. That's what's happening. As we dissolve the limiting thoughts by learning to clear the mind to truly see. Yes. Okay. I think we accomplished it today. I'm so blessed to be in your presence. Giving thanks for you and all the opportunities you give me to be who I am as I show up so you can be who you are. And then together we can go out and radiate from this fire of love and just become it, right? In every corner of the world. Yeah, so you go out there and just be you. Be you. Because you got everything you need to be you. And everything you want to be you. And may you feel the fulfillment of being you. Because I am grateful for you and this world is grateful for you. Bring our palms together. Let's pray out. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for bringing us together. Allowing our hearts to be energized and tuned to your fire of love. We now lovingly allow this energy to radiate from our beings as we walk from breath to breath, step to step into our lives, feeling your guidance. Thank you for the miracles that you unfold to help us grow confident in this ancient, sacred way of living as a spiritual being, more than human. Thank you for giving us the awareness of ourselves as an energy being. Thank you for all the intelligence that guides us and all the supply that provides for us in abundance, so we have more than enough to take care of this life the Matrix has created of man, and more than enough to share for those that are awakening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We ask that this flow out to all of our family and all our relations. So it is. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Om Natakwase. Abund Vashmaya. Namaste. Till next Wednesday, family. Keep shining and keep vibrating the radiance of that fire of love. All right. One love.